First of all, welcome back to today's YouTube video. It was not raining at all until I got here, and now the rain is starting to come down, so that absolutely sucks. A couple things real quick. For this half marathon workout, I'm kind of freaking out because this is supposed to be a faster workout. So the last time we did this like 2 weeks ago, it was just terrible. I went out there and like 2 or 3 miles in, my legs were just shot. I was so tired, my legs hurt so bad. Everything was really uncomfortable, and because of that, like, I quit the workout 7 miles in. Obviously, when you're quitting marathon workouts 7 or 8 weeks from the marathon, like, it's not a good feeling at all. I was just kind of down in the dumps. I started thinking like there's no way I'm gonna do a 3:30 marathon. So we stepped back, we refocused, and now we're coming back into this workout, but still with a little bit of that fear. The one thing I keep thinking about is that the success in running sometimes is failing. And by failing, I realize like my legs are not conditioned properly and I'm overtraining and I'm running too fast. So we made changes. We learned from it, we slowed down, changed our diet a little bit, and then we changed our weekly mileage, and now I'm feeling amazing. But really, there's just no harm in failing. Like, what's the worst thing that happens? I don't have a great run today, I don't feel as good. So what? You just do your best. If you fail, you go back to the drawing board and you figure it out. You just figure out what went wrong and you make a change. But if you don't fail, you'll never know where you need to grow. So I want to fail as many times as possible before we get to the Cleveland Marathon, so that it's going to be as successful as possible. So a couple things real quick today. For our food this morning, we tracked everything on an app called Cronometer. It's a free app I've been using, and it shows me all my macros. So I think we had like 100 grams of carbs this morning and about 680 calories. So I'm feeling fueled up. We had a pretty good breakfast, but I've been trying to focus on the pre-run meal, making sure I nail that. So for today's nutrition during the run, I have 2 gels we're gonna take at mile 4 and mile 8. Today's workout is simple. It's gonna be a half marathon, but the first 2 miles are a warm-up. So nice and easy, 2 laps around this 1 mile loop, and then it's gonna be 11 miles at race pace or under. So I would like to hit every single mile under 8 minutes if I can, or averaging that at the end of it. So we'll be in the high 7s is the goal. If we do that, that actually might be a half marathon PR for me. So I'd love to come out of this run today with a PR. I think that'd be incredible. All right, we've picked it up here, just about 7:40 right now, as far as our pace goes, but the fear in the fast parts is always that, like, what if I can't hold this very long? That is not on our mind right now. Rain's coming down, we're just gonna have to chip away 1 mile at a time. 7:42 right now. What do we think? You guys would tell me if you could see my nipples, right? Taking a drink break real quick. Almost to mile 9. Hit some runner's high. We're absolutely killing this. I'm pumped right now. I am soaked though, and starting to chafe just a little bit, but it's all right. It's been raining nonstop, even though the weather still says there's no rain, but we're doing good. All right, let's get back to it. All right, now that run is over, we're on our way home, but I just got everything loaded up on Strava to see how we did. Obviously, like I said, the 2 warm-up miles I knew would slow us down a little bit, but I wanted to do an actual warm-up. So 9:41 and 9:37 was the times for the warm-up, and then we did 11 miles, all under 8 minutes now that I'm seeing it, which is awesome. So let's see here. Mile 13 was 6:54, so we definitely ran as hard as we could just to kind of finish it up there. Overall here, we did actually get a PR for the half marathon. So that was my fastest half marathon ever, which is awesome. 1 hour, 44 minutes, 27 seconds. If you take the warm up out of there, we would have been way faster. about 4 minutes faster. So we could have done a 140 or below, but you know, like I said, I wanted to make sure we do a proper warm-up. Average pace for that was 7 minutes 58 seconds. There were a couple annoying things, as always, like every time we cross the crosswalk area, there's cars coming up there. So I think I even mentioned, like, somebody was kind of like waving me to go, I think, but their windows were so tinted I couldn't see them at all. So they were like inching forward and stopping and inching, and finally I just paused my watch and I'm just like waving, like, just go. I'm not gonna run, because it was just so awkward and I hate that. So that slowed me down a few times. 2 times I passed a dog that was on like an 100-foot leash, and then the dog ran over at last second, even though I told the people I'm right behind him. They're like, oh, go ahead. I was like, I'm gonna be on your left. And then the dog runs in front of me and just like does a lap around me, and just like Star Wars style with those giant walker things, just wraps right around it, around my legs, and I'm just like, it's just so awkward. Like, another thing, I'm like, so I don't know. Not that that affected my time. I'm not using that as an excuse that I could have been faster if it weren't for those couple things, but the puddles, the rain, there's always those little things that you think, like, in a perfect condition day, no rain, no puddles, no people, no slowing down for cars going by. Could you be a little bit better? Probably, but that's not what I'm thinking about right now. I'm thinking about the fact that my shirt is totally totally see-through right now, and my shorts are a full shade darker. That's what I'm thinking about. So we definitely need to get showered. Now that we are showered up, we're in much more comfortable clothing. Literally comfort. There is nothing like a post-run coffee, I'm telling you. It hits different. I already had one this morning, just a black coffee, but a latte after you run is just incredible. So, a couple things we're gonna do to refuel here. I talked to you about the Cronometer app and how we input our breakfast, so I knew how much I was eating. When these long runs come about at the end of the week, I really have mentioned in other videos too, I really wanna take that seriously, because like that's, to me, like as close as you're gonna get to the marathon. Like today, I spent 11 miles running at race pace. That's super important for me, whether it's just slow, easy miles for distance or faster miles. So looking back and seeing what I had and how that worked is really important to me. So we've been finding a really good combo of foods that I think is working well for me. And that was about 100 grams today. Last week, it was like 63 grams. Sylvia made a protein smoothie, collagen, fruit, all that fun stuff. And on that app, you can actually input like a recipe. So if you're using a cup of strawberries, 1 banana, orange juice, protein, whatever, you can put that in once, and then every time you put in your specific smoothie, it will put those numbers in. So that's really helpful. And then we tried the ProMix electrolytes. We also got a sample kit of their protein bars, which are fairly clean. When I'm looking at these, there's a lot of organic ingredients in this. Coconut oil, cane sugar, cinnamon. Like instead of cinnamon natural flavoring, which isn't real cinnamon, they just put cinnamon, believe it or not. So it's hard to find, so I respect that. 15 grams of protein, 150 calories in this. So we're gonna have this, a smoothie, we're gonna drink our latte, and then we gotta decide what to eat for real. So obviously I am just elated that we hit a PR today. It feels incredible. Everything I'm doing I feel like is starting to work, and that was part of the topic that I touched on earlier. I wrote it down for myself so I wouldn't forget. The success you find from failing. And we found some success. Obviously, we hit a PR, but it took us a failure on our last attempt to hit a PR, and we only made it 7 miles into that run. We failed. We went back to the drawing board. We changed up how we were running. We changed up how and when we were eating and what we were eating, and we changed up how we approach these runs. We took that information, we did that for a full week, which was the greatest comeback of all time video, which was a great foundation for the rest of this training. And then today, we kind of, I'm squatting on my knees, this hurts so bad. Let me just scoot back here. All right, and we took that information and we applied it in today's video as well, and I feel like things are just coming together nicely. I hope you guys got some form of inspiration, encouragement from this video. I'm gonna wrap things up here because I'm sitting on my knees right now and they're about to explode and I'm not gonna be able to run a marathon. So we're still a couple weeks out. We're gonna take today and tomorrow off at this point and just rest and recover, and we'll be back with some new videos pretty soon. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Oh my gosh, please like and subscribe. Cause I just tore both my menisci. Menisci? Is it menisci?
I think it's menisci.
I think it is too. Drop in the comments if it's menisci. Oh crap. All right, thank you guys. Bye. Okay, bye.